Every few years, the same handful of countries top the world's happiness rankings, and almost all of them are Nordic: Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Iceland. We assume they all parent the same way. They don't. One trusts children with terrifying amounts of freedom. One is built around a single untranslatable word, and one quietly beats them all at the thing every parent wants: calm, secure kids. So let's line up all 5, best to worst. Who actually wins? Before we start, a warning. Nordic parenting looks perfect from the outside, but every model has cracks: rising teen anxiety, a cultural rule that suppresses individuality, a philosophy so embedded its own people can't name it. We're ranking on 3 things: resilience, emotional security, and outcomes. 5 countries. 4 will lose. Let's count down. Number 5, Norway. If you've seen a Norwegian baby sleeping outside in sub-zero temperatures, you've met the core of Norwegian parenting. It's called friluftsliv, open-air life. Norwegian children are outside every day. Rain, snow, darkness. The saying goes, there's no bad weather, only bad clothing. Kids climb trees, build snow forts, walk to school alone. Parents step back. They trust. And it works, for resilience. Norwegian kids are physically capable and comfortable solving problems without adult intervention. Studies on Norwegian early childhood education emphasize risky play as a developmental tool: climbing, jumping, balancing. Not despite the danger, but because of it. So why number 5? Because friluftsliv is the least distinctive of the Nordic approaches. Outdoor play exists in every Nordic country. Norway does it well, but it's the foundation, not the differentiator. And Norway, like its neighbors, is seeing rising mental distress among adolescents. Friluftsliv alone isn't a shield. Number 4, Sweden. In 1974, Sweden did something no country had ever done. It introduced gender-neutral parental leave. Both parents, equal time, equal responsibility. Swedish children grow up watching fathers cook, clean, and soothe. The word lagom, just the right amount, shapes the entire culture: calm, egalitarian, low pressure. But here's what Sweden doesn't advertise. There's an unwritten code called jantelagen, the law of jante. It says, don't think you're special, don't think you're better than anyone else. On the surface, that sounds healthy, humble, equal. But jantelagen suppresses individuality. Kids who stand out, who are exceptionally talented or different, learn to shrink. Sweden's own public health agency reports rising mental health problems among school children, especially teenage girls, since the mid-1980s. Sweden built the most progressive parenting infrastructure in the world, but progress has its own pressure, and the law of jante is still watching. 3 countries left, and this is where it gets surprising. Number 3 is a country people forget is Nordic. Number 2 has a method that became a global brand. And number 1 does something most parents would call negligence. Stay with me. Number 3, Iceland. Icelandic parenting is built on a word you probably haven't heard: theta reddest. It roughly means it will sort itself out. It's not carelessness. It's deep cultural trust. In your children, in your community, in the idea that not every problem needs a parent's intervention. Icelandic parents don't interfere with children's play. They let kids explore in a country where the entire community functions as an extended family. The result? Icelandic kids grow up with remarkable independence and self-direction. They learn early that the world is not something to be protected from. It's something to explore. So why not higher? Because Iceland's model is almost impossible to replicate. It depends on a tiny, high-trust population where everyone shares the same cultural operating system. Move the same practices to a city of 8 million, and the trust collapses. Iceland works because it's Iceland. It's beautiful. It doesn't travel. Number 2, Denmark. You've heard of hygge, but in parenting, it's not about aesthetics. It's about creating a drama-free environment where children feel emotionally safe. Danish parenting was codified in the Danish way of parenting. 6 pillars that spell parent: play, Children don't start school until 6. Play is essential, not a break. Authenticity. Kids accept their real feelings, not perform happiness. Reframing. Parents reshape how children interpret events. A spider isn't scary, it's curious. Empathy. Danes believe we're all wired for it. No ultimatums. Instead of threats, Danish parents redirect. Togetherness. Hygge. The real version. A home where being together is genuinely enjoyable because stress is intentionally kept out. This is the most emotionally intelligent parenting model on this list. But Denmark's model is deeply intertwined with its social structures. Universal healthcare, subsidized childcare, generous leave. You can practice parent anywhere, but it works best when parents aren't exhausted and financially strained. Denmark didn't just parent well, it built a society that lets parents parent well. And number 1, Finland. Everything else on this list has been about philosophy, culture, words like hygge and friluftsliv and theta redast. Finland's approach is defined by what it doesn't do. Finland doesn't give homework. Finnish students leave school and go home, to play, to be with family, to be children. Finland doesn't use standardized tests, not until age 18. No rankings, no league tables, no pressure to perform for a metric. Finnish teachers are highly educated, most hold master's degrees, and they're trusted to assess their own students. Parents trust the schools, schools trust the teachers trust the children. And the result? Finland consistently ranks among the top education systems in the world, not because they push harder, because they push less. Finnish children report some of the lowest stress levels of any students globally. The other 4 countries each have a beautiful philosophy. Finland has something rarer, a system that proves the philosophy works at scale, not in a village. In a modern nation of 5.5 million people, Finland wins because it did the hardest thing. It got out of the way. So there it is. 5 Nordic countries, 5 different answers to the same question. How do you raise a child who can handle the world? Norway says, send them outside. Sweden says, make it equal. Iceland says, trust the community. Denmark says, make homes safe. Finland says, stop pushing. Each one works. Each one has cracks. And none of them can be copied without the society that holds them up. Here's the question that stays with me. If we know that less pressure, more play, and deeper trust produce better outcomes, why is it so hard to actually do? If this changed how you think about parenting, subscribe. Because next week, we're comparing 2 cultures that take the opposite approach to everything Finland just showed us.